Hey guys, welcome back to another episode here of Busch Gardens. If you haven't subscribed already, click that subscribe button. Let's get straight into it. Roll the intro. Hey guys, welcome back. So I'm just going to continue on from where I left off in the last episode with this skyrocket build, and I'm just going to complete the queue line now for this coaster. Some of you asked me why my queue line was so long. I think that was over on Reddit, and to be honest, I never really thought about it that much. But now that I have thought about it a little bit, I guess it's because I think these skyrocket coasters have quite a low capacity. They only have one train, and Busch Gardens parks can be quite busy, I think. So I think this would have quite a line if it was popular, especially in like the high seasons or whatever. So that's kind of why I've gone in with a longer queue line, I should say. So now I'm just doing the bridge that goes from like the main area of the Russian part over into the skyrocket area. They are kind of two separate parts, but it is one area of the park. And also I asked some of you guys for a name for this coaster. I really wanted it to fit in with the whole area which I've got going on here, and some of you have given me some suggestions, so I thank you for that. I'm going to pick one at a later date and apply it to the ride. As you just saw there, this was actually an old area of the Russian bit. I had some older buildings there. If you go back a little bit, you probably can see what I mean. But basically, as you know, a few episodes ago, I rebuilt this big building for the Russian area, which is going to be put in the center of this area. But I actually built the skyrocket before I did that, so I've kind of gone backwards with the build. But I'm showing you this now, and then later on I shall show you the actual kind of finished Russian area once I've done some fine tuning and some editing, because it really wasn't my favorite area of the park, and it had a lot of work to be done on it. So that's basically the skyrocket area done. Now I'm just going to go in with some lights from the extra lights mod set and just kind of light up some of the support columns just to give it a bit more life at night time, and putting some spotlights on the kind of station building. But as you can see behind the skyrocket, I have this very large area of land which I can't really see be an expansion area for the park, as it's kind of across the river and I don't want to go beyond the skyrocket. So I'm going to make that a backstage area. So I will go in shortly and do that. Before I do that, I'm just going to complete this bridge first, just add some more details onto it, make it look a bit more fancy. I didn't want to leave it just kind of vanilla and plain, so I really want to dress it up a little bit and make it really interesting, to make maybe guests really want to walk across over to the coaster. And so I'm just going to go in and complete that now, and then very shortly I'll get on to the backstage area, which is actually the first kind of major backstage area that I've done in this park. I've done one already, a small one over in the Egyptian area, but this is probably the biggest one. As you can see, I've already laid out some just some path tiles from a path cover set, just to kind of jot out where I want things to go. And I've used the little booth there from the in-game pieces, and I've just put a booth with some gates using the fences just to make it look like a kind of a staff-only entrance area. And now I'm just using these kind of corrugated iron walls, and I'm just going to build some sort of warehouse storage area, maybe for the off season times where they can do maintenance on the trains or whatever you like. You know, you can use your kind of imagination with this kind of thing, as it's not actually a functioning part of the park or of Parkitect, but something I'm just doing for aesthetic, as always. So I'm just going to try and make a kind of somewhat boring but okay looking warehouse, just using some different pieces. And then I should try and, once I've got the main kind of thing done here, I'm just going to play around with this kind of surrounding area, just give it look a bit more of like a interesting look, with maybe some paths and some shrubbery. I'm going to add some cars in there just to give it like some staff car parking, and I'm actually going to connect a staff path from the back of this warehouse area all the way over to the wooden coaster in the German area, just so that the staff have some sort of access, if you will. So my backstage buildings are always somewhat similar. If you've seen me build other parks before, especially Sea Defense Adventure, you can see that I'm using a very similar style in kind of warehouse. I don't really have much knowledge on backstage warehouse buildings, so I just kind of go with something I think looks okay and kind of use that style throughout the rest of the park for the backstage areas. Now this isn't this won't be the only backstage area of the park. I plan on having a couple more. I've got the small one, like I said, over in the Egyptian area, and this is the main one. And I'm going to do some small little access points around the edge of the park, just so it looks like there would be another backstage area, but maybe it's off the map. But I'm going to show you kind of some like dirt tracks or whatever where maintenance trucks can come in and do stuff. So that is kind of that building done. I'm just going to go up now here and make this like a staff car parking area up around the top there, and just kind of fix some of the infrastructure and the roads here, just so the people coming in with their lorries or trucks know where to go. I think it's a bit impractical here that I've done like a slope down to this warehouse, but we'll just kind of brush over that and not worry about it too much. I do like to keep my stuff quite realistic. As you know, my aesthetic in this game is realism, and that's kind of what I always go for. I find it very hard to step out of that and do kind of fantasy things, but I just stick to what I like to do, and that is doing realism. But when it comes to things like this, I'm not always 100% sure, and sometimes I just like to go for something, you know, that looks good rather than maybe some functionality sometimes. And so maybe the slope down to that warehouse there isn't very practical in real life, but I think we can just overlook that. Now I'm just going in with another small little building. At the time I did have an idea what this was, but now I have no idea. So it's just another building to make the backstage area look a bit more full and interesting. But I'm going to add some water tanks and that kind of thing for water storage for the park, and just kind of make it look like a backstage area. I'm not going to go in and really make a purpose for every building and thing, because I don't really know 100% what all the backstage buildings are in parks. I've never been on like a backstage tour or anything in a theme park, so I'm not 100% sure. So I'm just using my imagination here and just kind of putting down what I think looks good. So now I'm just going to continue letting you watch me build the rest of this area. I'm just going to do most of this backstage area now and just kind of really tie it in to make it the skyrocket not look so out of place. But if you've enjoyed this episode, give me a thumbs up and subscribe if you haven't already. And thanks for all you new subscribers out there that have started to follow me and watch me in the last few weeks. I really appreciate it. And stick around next time for another video. Can't wait to show you what else I've got installed for this park. I'm really excited about it. But I'll see you all next time. Bye.